Tonight, on a very special edition of Collateral Cinema Director's Cut, we are joined by Jason from the Dads from the Crypt podcast as we are talking slashers in the big city. Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, and Leprechaun 3 in Vegas. So stick around, everybody. The show starts right now. Welcome to Collateral Cinema Director's Cut. I'm Beau Maddox.
I'm Robert Ortegon.
And we are joined by our special guest, Jason, from the Dads from the Crypt podcast.
Hello, happy to be here.
Yes. And we are podcasting straight from somewhere in South Texas. And yes, my friends, we are 420 friendly, so whatever you have, smoke it if you've got it. And yes, we are finally doing slashers in the big city. Right, Robert? I mean, this is something that we've been trying to do for like maybe 2 years now, right?
Yeah, we were just talking about it as an idea, really. Mostly for like a low-budget late-night thing.
Which we're still going to do. We're going to make an actual YouTube series, kind of focusing on more low-budget stuff. You know, stuff that we tend to watch really late at night. You know what I mean, Jason? I mean, those midnight movies, more or less.
The put the kids to bed, pop a gummy, or open a six-pack and see what's on.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Yes.
Or like watching USA Up All Night back in the day.
Exactly, or TNT Monster Vision back in the day or something like that.
Made for TNT movies, late night.
Exactly. But yeah, the two movies that we are talking about with slashers in the big city, you know, to kind of keep things kind of conceptually tied and whatnot, we are talking about Friday the 13th, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, and Leprechaun in Vegas. Now, I'm trying to... Actually, not too long ago, Scream actually kind of went to New York City recently, right?
Yes, it did.
So, I mean, now we have kind of Scream 6, Ghostface Takes Manhattan. So that's kind of serendipitous that we're doing this episode after that just came out. But first, we're going to go ahead and get into Friday the 13th, Part 8, which is really, honestly, my all-time favorite Friday the 13th movie. I mean, it's one of those movies that is just most nostalgic for me because, I don't know, I kind of like the actual cast of characters. Like, I like how Jason was utilized in this movie. And, it's really just, to me, like the penultimate, it's kind of the penultimate Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but Jason, what are your opening thoughts on this particular movie, on Jason Takes Manhattan?
So, I love the visage of Jason. I love the mystique of this series. I love the kills. But as movies, I've never been the biggest fan of Friday the 13th. It's kind of like everyone, you have to pick one. Either you're a Freddy fan, a Jason fan, or a Michael fan. And for me, I've always been in the Freddy camp. But as far as Friday the 13th movies, I go by like the Star Trek premise that all of the even ones are the best ones. My personal favorite is Part 6, Jason Lives.
Oh, that's because
it's so self-aware, especially because they've made the same movie by 5 times by that point. So they take number 6 and like, everyone knows what the gags are. Let's just have fun with it. It's very like proto Scream in a way, just how self-aware and winking it is. And also, one of my biggest complaints about the Friday the 13th series is that it's a summer camp slasher series that almost never has people working at an actual summer camp. I mean, they're always getting ready for summer camp, or they stumble upon the summer camp. And as someone who has worked at a summer camp and went to summer camp, I love the idea of a slasher in a working camp, like within, and that's why Sleepaway Camp is one of my all-time favorite movies.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
so I mean,
we just recently did a commentary track on that, and interestingly
Awesome.
enough, Felissa Rose followed us recently on Twitter, so there's that.
yeah, I mean, she's amazing.
She is
I've
so
met her.
cool. Yeah,
I've met her. I've met her a handful of times. She's always delightful.
yeah.
And that's why I think I like part 6 so much, because it actually has campers. I mean, even though Jason doesn't kill any, but the threat is there, and that's what makes it more interesting.
Oh yeah, definitely. That scene where that little girl is just completely terrified, and Jason is just looming over her, and she just starts saying, you know, I pray the Lord my soul to keep and everything. It's like, yeah, that's actually really terrifying because, I mean, you're right. I mean, they never really threw actual campers at Jason up until then. So,
and I think that's emblematic of this particular movie, because it's Jason Takes Manhattan for 5 minutes.
yeah, exactly. This movie is
Again,
it's absolutely infamous for having New York City, Manhattan, in all of maybe 10 or 15 minutes of the fucking movie.
I mean, there's like only like 2 or 3 shots of actual New York.
Yeah, and that cost $5 million.
But
damn.
But again, the whole Jason Takes Manhattan and the New York of the 80s has such a mystique around it. My first thing I ever created in the horror space as like a commentator, I had a blog back in like 2008 called Jason Takes Portland, because I used to live in Portland, Oregon.
Oh, nice.
So that was kind of like, I was just kind of trading off of that. So there's definitely like the New York hype of it that doesn't really follow through to its complete extent.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's definitely fun parts.
I mean,
this movie.
It kind of feels like the New York or the New Jersey that's portrayed in like trauma movies, more or less, just very grimy. There's literally toxic sludge all over the fucking place.
I was trying to say he's basically the Toxic Avenger. Like,
I mean, yeah, he basically
Right.
becomes Toxic Avenger, right? Exactly.
Yeah, because don't you know the New York City subways are flooded with toxic waste at midnight every night? Like,
I don't know where the fuck they came up with that. Like, I mean, I don't know of any sewer system that would ever do that. It's like
maybe they get flushed with water to clean them out, but toxic sewage?
it's like where does the toxic sewage come from? And where's the toxic waste? You know, is it like from where? What does it run off from?
from Vegas.
New York vibes.
I don't know.
New York vibes, exactly. You know, is it like the Slime River in Ghostbusters 2, more or less? Is that what it is?
Get to there.
You know, it's just all the negative shit just congealed into slime.
That would be a great crossover.
That would be an amazing crossover.
Jason Takes Manhattan and Ghostbusters 2.
That would have been amazing. Like maybe there's a comic book imprint that would make something similar to that, because that would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, and then there's like that ghost Jason baby child that like keeps popping up out of nowhere. Doesn't make any sense and has like really inconsistent makeup.
It's never explained what's actually going on there. Like with the main girl, I forget her character's name, but yeah, it's like she has
Rennie.
Yeah.
Rennie.
She has these visions, and nobody ever knows where that's coming from. I mean, it's completely out of left field. I mean, it's not like the Friday the 13th where there was like a psychic battle or anything.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
But
well, and then there's the other one where a woman was like attacked by Jason on the canoe. But this one, like, she looks into a puddle. She's been on the river for like hours and days. Doesn't have a flashback. She looks at one puddle in New York and has a total like acid flashback to when she was thrown into the water by her uncle conservator.
Yeah, let's
like tugged underwater by Jason. It's baffling.
Let's talk about her uncle a little bit. He's a very strange character throughout, because in many ways it's kind of like what Brad Jones brought up with the Cinema Snob episode on this movie. It's like he's actually kind of reasonable. He's kind of basically saying the common sense thing here for the most part. It's just the movie just goes out of his way to portray him as just this vicious authority figure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's just kind of a dick about it.
He's a dick about it, but he's right for the most part. I mean,
well, yeah, exactly. He's right. He's mostly right about except for like going after the Harbinger.
Yeah, no, that was him finally just kind of losing it and just kind of going with his emotions a little bit. He got a little emotional about it, you know.
Yeah, I don't like when older people exercise their authority like that, though. You know?
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's kind of like the whole "okay boomer" meme or whatever. It's
Yeah.
like he has "okay boomer" vibes in spite of the fact that he is actually right about everything,
Yeah.
mostly.
It's the demeanor part of it, really.
Yeah, but then again, he did pull a real dick move by throwing his little niece into the water when he knew that she couldn't swim.
Yeah.
That's a dick move, one way or
Yeah.
the other.
Well, also you get like a real controlling vibe there because he's her guardian, her uncle, and like the principal of her school or something like that. That's like there's some creepy dynamic going on.
That's
there.
even-
That's
yeah.
the vibe I got.
Definitely, but I mean, it's not like he's really a full-on creepler. I mean, there's a scene where the bitchy popular
The
girl,
prom queen.
Tamara, like she tries to seduce him, and he rightfully fucking like throws her off him and is like, "Get off of me! What are you doing?"
What are you doing? You're
And,
underage.
and then it's just completely flummoxed when it turns out that it's a total screw job. You know, they're pulling a screw job on him. They taped him. You know, but
Which is what's so funny is that like she said to me, like she's like shows up and takes off her robes like, oh, I've got my biology project here, and she labels stomach and heart, like
that's it. Stomach,
upper
heart.
respiratory tract. Like, I'm like, come on, put some effort into that.
Oh, but the thing is, it's about the parts that she wrote on herself that we didn't see, right?
Right.
If you know what I mean.
Mhm.
You know,
Well, and also she's let on the senior trip without finishing her project. Like that seems kind of.
I
I
mean,
don't know. My school would not let someone go because my high school on grad night we did do a boat trip up and down like the Willamette River or whatever's going through Portland. I'm lacking on that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's so random.
It really is. But honestly, I really do like the other characters in this movie. Like, for instance, the boxer Julius. I mean, he's the one motherfucker to actually go toe to toe with Jason in the end
Yep.
in Manhattan. He straight up goes toe to toe with him.
Fast hands too.
But it's like Jason is just too impervious, so he just sits there, takes the punches, lets him, tire himself out, and then just one punch.
It was the hockey mask. If you would have taken the hockey mask off and then started beating him,
Oh, you think so? Yeah, he does kind of have a pretty soft and gushy face,
But like, what law of physics is that like one uppercut will take someone's head off? Like,
Mortal Kombat
Looney Tunes.
physics.
it's Looney Tunes.
Yeah, either Looney Tunes or straight Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
It was a fatality.
I'm pretty sure that's a Johnny Cage fatality.
It was
at one point.
babality, bro.
Babyality, stupid. I don't know. Friendship. But yeah, like I like the whole dynamic between the film geek with the camera and the rocker girl. Like,
Yeah, that's cool.
I kind of feel like they could have played a little love triangle between her and him and Tamara, kind of. It's slightly hinted at, and I'm just like, why go for that prissy, chintzy girl when you got a badass rocker girlfriend right here?
Yeah.
It's like, come on now.
I mean, that other girl's just a user anyway, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
But she actually wants to spend time with him and like play some sick riffs and shit. It's like that's badass. Why not?
Honestly, he should have just recorded the whole soundtrack of the movie with her.
I know, right?
That would have been awesome.
What's the who does the intro to this? Is it Dokken or Winger? Or
No,
like who is it?
Metro something.
Metro.
Metropolis.
Yeah.
I think it's Metropolis.
Metropolis. Okay.
I can check that up. I could be wrong, but
It's total like late 80s, early 90s hair metal vibe.
There you
to
go.
me. It feels like it does feel like something that Winger or Dokken would have made. But that's right. Dokken made a song for what's it called? For Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Warriors, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude, I like part 4.
Yeah, part 4 is pretty cool.
Is it Dream Warriors and then Dream Masters?
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of Jason movies, I think my favorite one of them it has to start with the final chapter in the whole Tommy Jarvis series.
Oh, the Jarvis trilogy is great.
Yeah.
Because in many ways, the best way to think of these movies is as a series of trilogies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the best way to approach them. I mean, even whenever and the Jarvis trilogy goes into the zombie Jason trilogy.
Exactly. The part 6, which is do the opening of that where they dig him up and he gets struck by lightning, dude. Like,
Right, the Frankenstein zombie.
Yeah. That's pretty much the beginning of zombie Jason.
Zombie Jason. I thought that was cool seeing that when you were a kid. It's like, hell yeah.
It was.
Fuck yeah, I watched it on VHS too.
Yeah, it really was. And I mean, I do like the whole set piece of having Jason on a boat or a ship. I mean, they really could have just kept it on the ship for most of the movie and not even had Manhattan in here, and it would have been a fine movie.
Yeah, I'm fine with Jason on boat, but to call it Jason on boat, just
it's
the expectation.
Yeah, exactly. Like maybe make it an even bigger cruise liner.
Poseidon
Adventure. I mean, this is more like a ferry that they're on.
Dude, the Poseidon Adventure with Jason.
Oh, that would be crazy. Like they have like he's on there and then they like capsize and then they have to deal with surviving the capsization and also Jason coming after them.
Yeah,
dude.
Wow, that would actually be a compelling movie. That could have been something there.
That could work.
Well, at least then you could just have like a boat in Crystal Lake and a boat, not just like somehow Crystal Lake feeds into the ocean that leads into New York.
I was like, what tributary connects the two? I don't see how that would be, because I mean, Camp Crystal Lake is in New Jersey, right? It's roughly in Jersey.
That's where they film most of it. I don't think they ever definitively, canonically say where Crystal Lake is located.
Yeah. It always just felt like it was somewhere in Jersey, and that's the only way that it would make sense for them to be able to get to Manhattan by a ferry.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah, but again, the Crystal Lake is never shown, and also it looks very much like the Pacific Northwest.
It does. It looks a lot like the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah. It's like all those trees and the fog rolling in. You're like, that's not Jersey, first of all.
Yeah, no, it's got PNW vibes to it. Yeah.
Crystal Lake feeding into the river, to an ocean. And then the idea that you can just row a boat into New York Harbor without the Coast Guard noticing.
Yeah, what the hell is that? Like even in like pre 9/11 New York, I mean, they still had the Bay area kind of, on lock,
Yeah, like you can't just get in a boat and go by the Statue of Liberty. Like people are like watching.
No, especially nowadays, they have a perimeter around the Statue of Liberty.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're not allowing people to just row up there.
Yeah, we see that on X-Men,
right? X-Men, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Jason. I mean, there's so many questions about how Jason like physically moves in this movie, but like he's like some sort of Olympic swimmer.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep up with them, and then he's like teleporting everywhere. Like,
is this the movie that establishes the whole idea of Jason teleporting?
That and Myers too.
Yeah, him and Myers. Like, is this the one that kind of establishes that trope?
That's the only way.
I don't know exactly. I think it's the most blatant one. I don't remember the other ones well enough. But like the scene, I think her name is Tina, where she's in the disco and he's just like showing up at all the different exits. Like whenever she turns around, it's like, what? And then like there's a scene where the principal guy, he's looking over his shoulder at Jason. And he runs into a building and he gets thrown out of the building. Like, how did Jason get like from behind him to up into the building?
That's true.
You're right. Like he's literally in there for just a few seconds and then he's just being thrown straight out by Jason. It's like, wasn't Jason like right behind him?
Hey, and when you grab the cop too, when Julia's head freaking falls down, when he grabbed the cop, he appeared right in front of the car later on.
He did.
I was like, what the hell, dude?
And how else would and after Remy crashes the cop car into Jason, it's like, how else does he get out of there? He had to have teleport.
Right. Well, and then also they kill off the teacher, the nice teacher, in that car, and no one with no fanfare whatsoever. No one acknowledges it.
Barely anyone does.
Yeah.
Like maybe Rennie kind of says something about it, but no, it's barely even touched upon. Like,
and then there's got to be. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Sorry.
There's got to be probably the most disturbing scene in like at least any like of the Jason series where the lead girl gets kidnapped and fed heroin.
Oh, that God. Is so just out of nowhere.
So fucked up.
It really is. It's like, forcibly giving someone a controlled substance is like, I'm pretty sure that's a crime in and of itself, even back then,
And then she's fine, like a minute later.
It's like, no, she'd be riding that fucking pony, right?
Yeah,
she's jacked.
Especially a first timer. Yeah.
And then again, stupid. This guy's got a gun. And he's shooting Jason. And he walks towards him, as if getting closer to. Like he's obviously hitting him. I'm going to walk closer to the hockey mask maniac whose bullets are not working on. I'm going to walk closer.
Yeah, it's like the entire point of having a gun on you and using it like that is that it's a distance tool. You're supposed to give you some distance and you can get away from the threat once the threat's down. So just getting in closer is stupid.
Yeah, and then then Jason throws him into a pipe. I don't know if that's supposed to be like, the drug user is hitting the pipe.
Hitting the pipe. Yeah, that is kind of another thing in this movie is that almost all the kills kind of have a hoisted by their own petard kind of thing. Like the rocker girl is killed with her guitar. It's ultimately the camera that leads to the film geek's demise, and the junkie.
The Papa girl gets killed with a mirror because of her vanity, maybe.
Or using the. Also, in maybe allusion to the cocaine.
Yeah, because she was taking coke off the mirror. There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of feel like this guy really wanted to make a Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
Yeah.
Was given this instead.
It kind of has the same vibe where it's just kind of being playful with the kills a little more than not, Like even though that first kill that happens with that couple, it's like they're both killed with boating stuff that you'd find on a boat, Mm-hmm. It's all aquatic weapons, So, like they're kind of hoisted on their own petard in that way.
Right, and the guy has a replica of Jason's hockey mask, including the axe marks.
Yeah, what is
Jason takes that and that's the one he uses for the rest of them. Is that how that works?
The final chapter mask, right?
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. Yeah. It's like, so what? Did the mask just kind of somehow float around Crystal Lake?
Yeah, I don't get how he had his mask. That was the same mask.
It absolutely was.
Yeah, or he has a cosplay fetish and made his own mask.
Yeah, right. It's like it seems that by that point Jason is kind of enough of a legend that people. Hell, at one point in the series they're making goddamn burgers shaped as Jason's hockey mask.
Voorhees burgers.
That's my favorite
Voorhees burgers. Yeah. So
Jason Goes to Hell.
That could track. Like maybe somebody wanted to just cosplay as him.
Jason Fingers and Voorhees burgers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, dude. And also there's some really bad makeup in this. Like when they show Jason, I swear that shot at the very end where Jason doesn't have his mask on. First of all, it looks like crap. Mm-hmm. And then he starts saying in the little boy's voice, saying "mommy, mommy," and spitting up.
That's just really off-putting to me as well.
Yeah.
And then he turns into Kid Jason, like.
Yeah, and they leave a Kid Jason in the sewer. What is happening?
What is that? That makes no sense whatsoever when you really think about it. But honestly, I kind of feel like the overall script and everything is more about one of those things where it's more about the journey than the destination, Because in between, the Manhattan parts of the movie, it's like you get a very entertaining little Jason film that's on a boat, which is compelling in its own right. But
yeah, and we've pointed out a lot of things that are wrong with this, but I think that makes it very charming.
Yeah.
So I'm not bashing on it as if that matters in this kind of movie.
Like I said, I absolutely love this movie, and it's my favorite Friday the 13th out of all of them. Maybe even Freddy versus Jason is maybe just kind of underneath that, if you want to call that a Friday the 13th movie, insofar that it is,
I'll go to bat for Freddy versus Jason. I'll just say that.
Oh yeah, we're actually doing that this next coming season. That's going to be our season premiere, actually. Nice. So
season 7, baby. Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll go ahead and kind of wrap things up on Jason Takes Manhattan. Jason, what are your final thoughts?
Again, it's definitely entertaining. It's kind of critic proof in a way. Like you can nitpick it all you want, but you're still getting Jason. You still got plenty of kills, and that's what we're here for. So it's fulfilling that. So it's like from a critical perspective, there's a lot to tear apart. But if you just want Jason chaos, then yes, you get that.
Yeah.
If it was called anything but Jason Takes Manhattan, I think it'd be a lot more respected. But because it's like they started with the title, worked their way back, and then realized they didn't have money to do any of that, so they just scrapped it to something almost completely different. And they just never changed. They never fixed the title to reflect that. So it could just be called like Jason's Adventure. Jason goes on a trip.
Jason on a boat.
Kind of like the Chucky movies, like Seed of Chucky, Curse of Chucky.
Yeah, something like that. All right, Robert, what do you think? Jason Takes Manhattan.
It's not a bad movie. It picks off from part 6. I like how they all pick off from each other. That's the main thing. And when I first saw Jason Takes Manhattan, I liked the soundtrack, especially with the chick.
Yeah, she was great.
And the recordings, but I guess it's the first time we ever seen Jason on a boat, almost like watching the Titanic. I don't know.
Yeah, it would have been interesting if they just expanded on it and it was just like a 3 or 4 day cruise or something.
3-hour tour.
Yeah, instead of just a ferry, like that would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the first time Jason ever left his home, though, too. Right?
Yeah. He traveled out of Crystal Lake in that general area. Yeah.
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 So, it's not a bad movie, Like, it's one of my favorites too, and I'd still put it on again and again. I think we watched it earlier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason Takes Manhattan. Now, New York has a new problem.
And it makes an excellent double feature with the next movie that we're going to talk about, which is Leprechaun 3, a.k.a. Leprechaun in Vegas, which is actually what we have playing on the TV right now in the background. And this is, honestly, I think that the first 4 Leprechaun movies are just totally fire. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Like, they are just so infinitely watchable one after the other.
That's why we watch all the sleepaway camps, right?
Exactly. That's another series that's kind of like that. But, like, for one, obviously, Warwick Davis. Like, he carries this series 100%.
Yeah, I haven't seen any Leprechaun movies in a very long time. I don't even know if I've, like, sat down and watched them completely. Like, it's one of those things that was just always on, you're always catching it. So, like, I feel like I've seen a lot of movies. I feel like I know I've seen the whole movie, but maybe not all in one sitting. Or I might have seen like half of part 1 and half of part 2.
Like maybe it was on, maybe it was like on Cinemax or Showtime or whatever, and it was like halfway through the movie, and you just kind of flicked there, and you're just like, okay, I can deal with this. No, I got you. I found
this movie very enjoyable. Warwick Davis is, again, I have a podcast based on Tales from the Crypt, and it's all about the Crypt Keeper. Yeah, and I felt like there's a little bit of synergy between the Leprechaun and the Crypt Keeper. I feel like the Leprechaun's almost like a younger, more spry version of the Crypt Keeper.
It does feel like it a little bit, because they're kind of very similar characters. I mean, especially when it comes to the puns and, just the delivery of their lines and whatnot.
And just the energy that Warwick Davis brings to it is it's really helpful. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, dude, that's an energy that he carries over to conventions that he's done. Like he apparently he loves just getting up and saying all the lines from the movie. Like he'll get up on the table and he'll just kind of entertain the fans with the Leprechaun character. So
no, he's the star of this on every level. So my understanding, this is the third. This is the first one to go direct to video. So they're definitely working, I think, on a different budgetary. And it shows in some parts, but other parts it's actually rather impressive. Like the effects works are really good in this.
It really is, and it's because they didn't really go. It's kind of like the first movie, and then that they kept things very spare. Like I mean. There's not a whole lot of like really hardcore creature effects in these movies other than Warwick Davis's Leprechaun and everything. So, and they're not especially gory movies. They're bloody movies, but they're not really explicitly gory, especially not this one. I mean, the worst you have here is you have like maybe toes getting bitten off, ears getting bitten, and some other things.
You have that amazing sequence with Loretta played by Caroline Williams.
Oh yeah, that's the closest you get to gore, but even then that's seems more cartoonish than graphic to me,
but again, it feels very like Looney Tunes, like it feels like Itchy and Scratchy kind of thing.
Yeah, it's totally Itchy and Scratchy. It feels like Itchy would just like Scratchy would just throw Itchy into a air compressor or something and just blow him up, and then he'd just pop. You'd hit a nail or something and pop. But yeah, it's like none of these movies like get really, really, really graphic or gory, and this one, like I said, the goriest is that scene, and it's not even that bad. But some of the other. Go ahead.
You have that cool like fembot scene where the woman comes out of the TV.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna get at.
We said the same thing in fembot.
That's an hilarious scene. I love that scene so much because first you have Tamara, like she's a completely like this is another girl named Tammy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have two. That's another thing. Both these movies have characters named Tamara. That's funny.
Tammy and Tamara.
Yeah, but like Tammy is like she's under the spell of the shilling, and Mitch wishes for to have a night with her. And she goes up there and she's acting all like stereotypically really thirsty for him and everything, and. It's kind of noteworthy that she's still kind of being aggressive against Midge, like even with the shilling's power, like she's kind of like breaking through that a little bit here and there.
Well, because they established that like eventually your wish will come to destroy you. So like you feel like if the spell had been broken, she probably would have killed him.
Probably she was probably going to be the one to kill him. Exactly.
But because it got broken because of Caroline Williams' character takes it. Then it's kind of broken, but the Leprechaun wants to finish the job.
Yeah, exactly.
So kind of spared her from having to do that.
And it's really entertaining how he goes through that, like especially with the whole TV concept. Like he's always just kind of playing with Mitch. He's just like the TV is like talking directly to him, and he's like, wait a second, I'm certain that was my name coming out of the TV.
Yeah,
and then that woman just comes out of the TV, which is a great effect in its own right. Very simple effect, I'm sure. And yeah, it turns into a fembot and electrocutes him. And yeah, that fembot, I mean, that's impressive. That's impressive for its time and for its budget. Yeah, it's a pretty impressive animatronic. And I just got to say, I love the fake boobs that are still on.
Right. Like I feel like there's some other low budget movie that had a robot in it, and they're just like, okay, let's take that robot, put it in our movie. We'll just put a fake like a mask and some boobs on it. We'll leave it as is because I mean it has nothing to do. The fact that it's a robot has nothing to do with anything.
I know, right? It's so random. It's like, is this a sci-fi movie now? It's like, I mean,
it's very Cronenberg.
Yeah. Did this become a Cronenberg movie? Like, what the fuck?
That I would love, a Cronenberg directed Leprechaun movie.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Oh, man.
Like, I mean, that would be like stunning. But which Cronenberg, Brandon or David?
David.
I guess it'd be Brandon's the hot hand right now.
Yeah, he is.
Either one.
Yeah, David Cronenberg. He's
Scanners.
the OG.
Yeah.
Scanners. Yeah, that would be amazing. But the main male character right here, he's actually a writer and director himself, right? Like, and he wrote and directed a few interesting movies.
Yeah, he's a screenplay writer.
Like, what were some of the movies that we saw on his wiki?
He did like Real Steel and
Need for Speed,
one of the King Kong movies.
Yeah, one of the King Kong movies.
Skull Island movie.
He did Skull Island. He did
Skull Island. Yeah.
He did Need for Speed.
Need for Speed, bro.
Yeah, another movie we did last season.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah.
Coach Carter, Flight. That was a good movie. Oh, the Power Rangers that he did.
2017 version.
Yeah, he did the remake.
That's so funny.
He wrote the screen.
And that's cool. And that's cool. And I like his character here. I mean, honestly, the male and female leads here, they're both very likable characters, I think. But my favorite group of characters is the
Lone Shark.
The Lone Shark. Yeah, Arthur. He is the best. You know, he is so down. You know, he even says it like, I want health insurance for all Americans.
Yeah, what is with like health insurance? Like,
I know, right?
Coming up, I loved it.
Yeah. The whole hospital scene is like, do you take Green Cross? Such an obvious.
That's straight Crypt Keeper right there.
That's total Crypt Keeper, exactly. Yeah, I totally see where that vibe is the same. But it's like, that's what's great, is that there's so many great scenes in this movie that are just so memorable and entertaining, you know? Like, I love the hospital scene. I love all the scenes in the pawn shop with Gupta, the pawnbroker.
Yeah, and then, of course, like, what really took me back is the fact he had, like, a CD.
Like, CD-ROM, yeah.
The CD-ROM, it was an instructional CD-ROM, which they were pushing so hard back then. Like, everyone will learn via CD-ROM.
I had a few games like that. You know, they were like,
Legends and Folklore or whatever.
Yeah. I had a few of those early CD-ROM educational adventure games, and yeah, it does kind of still have that vibe, you know, especially with the animation, like almost looking like a CDI game almost.
Yes, CDI, yeah, exactly. But like, what are the chances that he happens to have one sitting in his drawer that's all about leprechauns that happens to be true? Like, everything.
That is crazy. Yeah,
it's like, did it come with a computer that somebody hawked sometime? It's like, what the fuck?
I don't know, but it gives you magically all the rules you need to know, including that leprechauns fight each other or something like that, like the leprey fight.
Yeah, and that sets up the whole fight between Scott and the leprechaun.
Yeah, which is just, again, leprechaun fight, sure.
Yeah, fuck it, why not? You know. And it's kind of creepy to think that, I mean, you get any leprechaun blood in you, like, you're going to fucking turn into a leprechaun. I mean, that's like
crazy.
I mean, they didn't go too deep in the special effects on that. You know, interestingly enough.
Terrible.
Yeah.
No, they're terrible for his whole makeup. But
remember the rules were a lot different in part 1 and 2, right?
Yeah, that's right. They were.
Like the clover and then like the wrought iron, right?
And now here we have the medallion, which is the MacGuffin that repels the leprechaun.
His gold is his weakness.
I can't remember. Was that in the other movies, or is that just
no? This is the first time we have this medallion. I'm quite certain.
I told Beau, I'm pretty sure Antonio Banderas wore that in Zorro.
Well, with the way that prop departments are, like, or prop houses, I wouldn't be surprised if it's somehow circulated into a Zorro movies later on down the line.
At first, it looked like the medallion from Ray's Lost Ark.
It does a little bit, right? Almost.
Yeah. Well, of course, and then once you become a leprechaun, all you want to eat is potatoes.
Yeah, he gets like a big old potato platter. What is it, like? Potato pancakes, potato skins, mashed potatoes,
sweet potatoes,
potato salad, sweet potatoes,
potato pancakes.
Which is funny because just because something's your favorite food doesn't mean it's the only food you eat.
Well, the funny thing is that I'm vegan, and with a few alterations, I would totally tear into a plate of nothing but fucking potatoes.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
At the time of night and the state of mind that most people watch this movie at, they would eat the whole thing of potatoes.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Dude, I'm the kind of guy, you know, like, if the only thing that's vegan is fries, I'll just go ahead and get a basket of fries and just eat it, you know, whatever. So yeah, no, that's kind of like a few alterations there. Like, I mean, I'd be down for that. You know, it actually looks like a good platter.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm surprised it didn't have like cabbage and the boiled corned beef to go with it. Like,
I know. I'm surprised they didn't go that far into it. You know,
because it is like the Shamrock Hotel or Casino, whatever. So you'd think that they'd be like going all in on it.
Makes me wonder if that casino is still standing there. Because
No, that was a total facade.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was there's no such casino.
Yeah, there was no such thing.
I got
sure
you.
not. Because if you look at the sign, it looks like one of those vinyl posters.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Temporary places
put
up.
Just for the movie.
I know that they use like a closed down hotel or something like that for that. So like all of the hospital scenes is actually the kitchen of a old hotel. I think it's actually the same kitchen that Robert Kennedy got shot in.
What the fuck, really?
Robert Kennedy. Oh,
yeah.
What? Robert Kennedy by Saran? What the fuck? That's crazy.
I mean, go on to IMDb to confirm this. If I'm almost certain that's what.
No, that's insane if true. You know, it's like what the fuck.
Keep going. Oh,
yeah. But yeah, this magician dude, Fazio. What a douche, man. I mean, he's just a typical showbiz douchebag, right, Robert?
Yeah, he thinks he's something here.
Yeah, he's a hack. I mean, he's doing just basic, very basic magic here. Like nothing, not even on the same level as like Copperfield or anything like that, or even like David Blaine or Mind Freak guy,
Chris Angel.
Chris Angel. Oh my God, fucking goddamn Mind Freak.
Or the Masked Magician, right?
The Masked Magician, yeah, exactly. In Siegfried and Roy.
According to IMDb, the morgue scenes were shot in the kitchen of the then vacant Ambassador Hotel, a historically significant site, as that was the area where Senator Robert F. Kennedy was shot on June 6, 1968.
Holy
shit. The
shit.
director felt uneasy about shooting scenes on that spot, but the film was on such a time crunch, he had to pull through and did it anyways.
That's fucking amazing.
Well,
all those years later, fucking Leprechaun 3 was made there. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking love it.
Yeah, and like he didn't have permits for those shots when he's on the Vegas Strip.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah, imagine like you're just on the strip in Vegas, you're partying, whatever. A car pulls up, and a film crew runs out, and the Leprechaun walks out and starts doing lines.
It's pretty much public. It's pretty much public photography, as far as I'm concerned.
Like that scene where we do actually get an Elvis impersonator, because of course we're gonna get a fucking Elvis impersonator. It's Vegas. Come on now. But I mean, that's actually a great little scene. I mean, he actually interacts with him and is actually pretty cool with him.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. But yeah, I mean, also, I mean, the girl Tamara. I mean, I think that she's an interesting character in her own right. You know, I mean, she goes through a little bit of an arc here where she just finally had enough with all the abuse that Vegas just kind of metes out to women like her. But I mean, ultimately, they she takes care of business along with Scott, you know, and she becomes actually a good foil to him, you know, because
she's got some solid. But the funny thing is, she this is her last. She quit acting after this movie.
I saw that.
Yeah, that's sad. She's actually really good in this.
She did one other movie, and that was it too.
Yeah, she was not bad in this at all. I mean, and I still enjoy her character whenever she's on the screen and everything.
She could have been something. She should have just kept on with it though.
Yeah, she shouldn't have been discouraged by this. I mean, I know this was a different time in the movie industry. You know, you had direct to DVD movies or direct to video movies coming out, and this was direct to video.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's like nowadays, it's like people have a lot of nostalgia for those direct to video movies nowadays. Oh, yeah. It's like that's pretty much our bread and butter, you know, stuff like, you know, Full Moon Features or stuff like this.
I think I like them better, like going straight to Redbox, you know.
I know, right?
Straight to Netflix or something.
Yeah. Nowadays, that's the analog is the straight to Netflix type.
Yeah. That's a whole other business model.
Yeah, and those have those can be low quality, even lower quality. I kind of feel, you know, because I mean, I don't know, when you're making a movie for physical media, it's like you better, you know, be on point. I kind of feel, but it really is.
Even like Leprechaun Returns. I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh, Leprechaun Returns. Yeah, we did an episode on that.
That one's a good one. That one went straight to sci-fi, dude. That one was cool.
Yeah. This is another straight to DVD movie. Yeah, and it was released by Sci-Fi. Unfortunately, it didn't have Warwick Davis in it.
No, but it was a good impression of Warwick Davis. Really, it really was.
It was.
I'll give him that. I mean, he nailed it.
But back to this movie, I do really like how they utilize Vegas here. You know, they definitely did it better than Part 8 did with Manhattan. You know,
yeah. I completely agree with that. It actually had like a reason to be in Vegas.
It does. It has a great reason to be in Vegas. Like the characters have every reason to be there. You know, like if Scott is just passing through, like on the way to California and whatnot,
on his way to college,
way to college and everything.
I was telling Beau, I was telling you that, dude, I like the fact that he turned $23,000 into $200,000.
Yeah,
you know?
he did.
Yeah,
and I'm like, wow.
And the other thing I want to remark: holy fuck, going to college only costed $23,000 back then.
Yeah.
Fuck. God damn it.
I'm like, bro,
that was 20 years ago, so dude, I don't know what the inflation rate is, but
yeah. And also, you know, there's the whole commentary about health insurance there even a little bit, you know, and predatory you know, for-profit healthcare. You know, there's a little there's a little commentary here.
There's a little more to this. And then of course those two, again, my favorite thing of the two loan sharks talking about boxers or briefs.
One of the age-old questions, right?
So like,
of course, the obvious answer is like, fuck it, just free ball.
Just free ball.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. That's the obvious answer there. Yeah, but I mean, this movie is just like, I think that it's next to Leprechaun 4 in Space, which we already talked about. It's like the most entertaining out of 4 really entertaining movies. Like I said, the first 4 Leprechaun movies are just fire to me. Like I can watch any of them anytime and be entertained. Now, I haven't really seen the In the Hood movies.
We'll watch those too.
Yeah, we're going to have to watch those.
Yeah, I got both of them, bro. We got it.
Right on. But I would like to see those movies and kind of complete my Leprechaun filmography, more or less. Or not Leprechaun Origins, though, right?
I have that too, but I'd rather not watch it either.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding, right?
Yeah.
But all right, guys, let's go ahead and get into some final thoughts on Leprechaun 3, Leprechaun in Vegas. Jason, you go ahead.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed this movie. It's just fun. It's never boring. The editing is actually pretty good, like at keeping things moving. Like compared to Friday the 13th Part 8, like there's a lot of kind of slower stalking scenes. You're like, okay, we get it. We've seen this a million times. Moving on, or like Jason reaching for a weapon or something like that. This one has a much better clip to it, I felt, and really moved a lot better. I mean, there's definitely some what the fuck moments, like the guy traps a leprechaun in like his back office or whatever. Like the guy's magic; he can easily teleport. We've seen it before.
Yeah.
So why is he back? I mean, there's definitely some lunacy happening.
Definitely.
And it's definitely, you can definitely see some of the cheapness in it, but then again, you have some amazing effects, so that kind of makes up.
Oh, definitely.
For the cheapness, like the whole casino floor looks like the size of my living room. Like they're just shooting from like different angles. There's like two roulette tables, and that's it. So yeah, it definitely has a made for video feel, but then I feel like the effects kind of punch above their weight, or at least are more imaginative than you'd expect. So if I had to put these two movies head to head, I'd probably watch Leprechaun 3.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. All right, Robert, your final thoughts on Leprechaun 3.
My final thoughts, it's a great movie, like you guys said. It's one of the ones I'd probably put on first, and then I go back to the original, right?
Exactly.
But yeah, this one's a really good time to have. I mean, going. I don't know. It's just funny, and it's really not. What's the word? It's not like the other ones, though. You know what I mean? I don't know.
It isn't. I would argue it's the most adult out of all the Leprechaun movies because, I mean, you have to remember the first Leprechaun, it wasn't going to be an R-rated, like, violent horror movie.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a comedy. This one's
it was supposed to be like a kid's horror comedy kind of.
This one's up to the imagination almost, right? Like, really?
Yeah, exactly. This one is way more explicitly... It's way more explicitly adult, and I would even go so far as to say, like, is this the first one where we actually see some nudity in these movies?
Yeah, some Skinamax late night thing.
Yeah, I think that this was the first time we actually saw any, like, bare breasts or anything like that.
Yeah.
And the first two movies didn't really have much of that.
Mm-mm.
And I think the big reason, though, was that, a lot of the characters were meant to be younger in a lot of that, so they couldn't really...
That's true. I mean,
they couldn't really do that.
Jennifer Aniston was beautiful in the first one too.
Oh yeah, I mean, and I really wish that Jennifer Aniston would just come around and acknowledge that movie and just finally accept that her first movie is actually really good.
Yeah, she said that nobody even asked her if she wanted to do Leprechaun Returns.
Oh, she should have been able to do that. That would
Because
have been great.
her character was mentioned even, in Leprechaun Returns.
Yeah, no, we actually
Yeah.
hear a voice actor
Yeah.
kind of approximate Jennifer Aniston a little bit.
Yeah, she personally said that nobody even asked me if I wanted to do it,
That would have been great.
But she was like, even if they asked me, I still wouldn't do it. But
Yeah, no
I just want
kidding.
to
It's
ask.
like, I'm Jennifer Aniston now. I don't do Leprechaun movies.
Oh yeah, I was making $1 million an episode. What the fuck do I want to do Leprechaun?
Why would
No, somebody really want to do. They can make like an AI Leprechaun movie where every part is played by Jennifer Aniston.
There you go. Just
Good
deep fake the
Leprechaun.
entire fucking thing.
Honestly, they need to bring her back, like what they did in Terminator with the Linda Hamilton or something.
Something like that. That would be that would have been really cool. I mean, they did bring back the dopey guy,
Oh yeah,
like Audie. His name was whatever.
Audie, man. They had to do that. That was only right too.
Yeah, and even it even played into the first movie where he had the
Yeah.
shilling inside of him still, and it, like I don't know why he still had the shilling in him.
She's
But
past that already, but he
Yeah.
pretty much played the lighthouse keeper. Yeah,
yeah,
that.
Las Vegas, a gambler's dream, and a dreamer's paradise. They're all about to meet their worst nightmare.
Look out, Vegas. I'm taking over!
Now, the leprechaun's back in the city that never sleeps. And he will never rest until he reclaims his pot of gold.
Belongs to me, this gold I smell. Whoever's got it's going to hell. Yeah! I want me shilling.
Hello? If we destroy the gold, we get rid of the leprechaun once and for all.
Leprechaun 3. The third time's the charm.
but anyway, we're gonna go ahead and wind things down here. Jason, we really appreciate you coming on the show. Right now, we'll give you a chance to go ahead and plug your show and all your socials and everything. So go right ahead.
Sure. So again, I'm the host of Dads from the Crypt. We're a Tales from the Crypt podcast where we've been reviewing every episode of Tales from the Crypt, including the movies. And we're actually kind of winding down that show because we're in the last season. But because we're having so much fun, we decided to start alternating reviewing Tales from the Crypt episodes and then doing horror anthologies. So like we did Creep Show and
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
and we did Tales from the Hood.
Yeah.
That's
So we
awesome.
But yeah, then we did. Which, if you haven't seen that, if you haven't seen Tales from the Hood in a long time, watch it because it hits a lot harder.
Yeah.
And now, and as you're
Yeah.
older, than it probably did like when it came out and you were a kid or something.
Oh yeah, man. It's literally been decades since I've seen Tales from the Hood.
Dude,
Like,
that
a
one
minute.
episode where he draws the monster and then he starts folding the paper, dude. Remember that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was, and it was this really fucked up allegory for child abuse and shit.
Yeah,
That's-
well,
It's
and
like,
that was
damn.
David Allen Greer.
David
That's
Allen
David
Greer's in
Greer.
there. Yeah, dude.
Exactly.
He's the
That's
monster.
a chilling performance. And so two things about that one. We actually did an interview with the writer Darren Scott. That's on our podcast. So we do some
Nice.
interviews with people that worked on the shows. And then just for fun, there's a whole opening bit where everyone's talking about where's the shit? Gotta get my shit. Where they go to the parlor looking for the drugs. So on our YouTube and on our Instagram, I made a supercut of every time someone says the shit in the wraparound.
Nice.
It's really it's probably one of my favorite things I've ever done. Just pat myself on the back. So we're doing some major horror anthologies. We're also doing some lesser known ones. We're doing one this week called Campfire Tales, which I'd never heard of.
I think I've heard of that somewhere along the
Campfire
line. Like
Tales.
maybe it was on Netflix for a little bit.
Hey, dude, remember
Back in the
like
day.
Yeah,
Are You Afraid of the
But
Dark
it's like-
episodes? Remember those?
Are You Afraid of the Dark? Yeah.
The old
Yeah,
ones,
so-
not the new shit.
yeah. So yeah, like Campfire Tales is this '90s kind of anthology movie with like Amy Smart, James Marsden, Ron Livingston.
Nice. Damn.
And I wouldn't say it's great, but if you're a fan of '90s horror, if you have that nostalgia, it's actually a really fun ride.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Hell yeah.
So that's coming out this week. So again, We've gone through pretty much all the good Tales from the Crypt episodes, so you've got plenty of backlog to listen to. We've got a lot of great interviews. We've talked with the producers. We've helped them to do their own podcast, How Not to Make a Movie podcast about the making of Bordello of Blood. We kind of spun off a bit on that.
Oh, hell yeah. Demon Knight and shit. Hell yeah.
Yeah, we got interviews with the director of Demon Knight, the screenwriters. We got William Sadler on for a couple different episodes.
Oh, nice.
Fuck yeah, dude. Sadler, dude.
Fucking William Sadler. Hell yeah.
He's the nicest guy. I love that guy.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah.
So yeah, that's what we're doing, and we always got good stuff going on.
Awesome. And where can our listeners find Dads from the Crypt?
So pretty much everything is Dads from the Crypt. So we're on Spotify, iTunes, all the major podcasting platforms, Instagram and Threads or Dads from the Crypt, Twitter or X or whatever the hell it's called now is Crypt Dads. But we don't post a ton there. Pretty much just like major announcements. But
yeah, right on.
Our Threads and Instagram I feel are pretty strong.
I gotcha. Right on. And Robert, what's going on with Texas Sundown?
We still got to do more editing, and then we'll be releasing that.
Yeah. And we're also developing a new horror short, right?
Yeah, you and I are working on one, and yeah, we're trying to get this project together too, and I'm still going out for a few auditions myself,
Excellent. Like this new project we're working on, it's kind of going to be a little bit of a spiritual successor to Killing Night.
Almost, yeah. This time, you did the filming for me in Killing Night. I'm going to do the filming for you.
Yeah, we're going to kind of switch over, and I'm going to do the starring role in this one. It's going to be interesting. Like we got some interesting plans for it.
Yeah, we got to do some concept shots first.
Yeah. And as for Collateral Cinema, we have our Sleepaway Camp commentary out. It's a free commentary on the director's cut that is out on all the major podcast apps, and very soon here, whenever Ash decides to do it, he's going to upload a video on Patreon for our Morbius commentary. We got into Morbin time not too long ago. Honestly, I fucking love that movie. It's so dumb.
Ironically, or yeah,
kind of a little ironically, but also it's just like I just love so bad it's good shit, and that's just to me the meme is just so bad it's good. It's great, and we had a blast watching it. Ragging on Jared Leto a little bit.
Spider-Man 3 dancing.
Yeah, Spider-Man 3 dancing a little bit. We had a blast. So yeah, look for that on our Patreon where you can become a member at $1 and $5 tiers. We're on all the social media apps. We're on Threads. We're on X, Twitter X, or whatever the fuck that idiot wants to call it. We're also on Facebook and Instagram and everything. And check our merch shop out on the Spreadshirt. We have hats, shirts, mugs, and tote bags and whatnot. And we've kind of lowered the prices on them, keep them at a reasonable price and everything.
Yeah.
So look for us on the Spreadshirt. It's under Collateral Media Podcasts. And our next episode, we're going to be doing a review of Barbenheimer. The big Barbenheimer thing that's came out recently. I mean, apparently they're both great movies. Barbie is excellent, and so is Oppenheimer.
It's because of Gosling. He made it good.
The Gosling, bro.
The Gosling.
The fucking Gosling. Dude, that on social media, like, there were dudes, like, showing up to Barbie, like, in the scorpion jacket.
In the drive
right?
outfit.
Bro, it would almost be, like, you have one, right?
Yeah, I got
You
one.
have the exact one?
Like a pink scorpion jacket.
That would be amazing. Make a pink one.
I got a black one, yeah.
That would be incredible, man. Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, look for a Barbenheimer review coming up very soon. And on the director's cut, we will be doing another little random double feature. We're going to be talking Bad Taste, Peter Jackson's very first splatter movie. And we're going to be talking about the classic trauma, rape revenge kind of movie, I guess, Mother's Day, which is an all-time classic and is on Tubi, and we highly recommend it. So look for that. And we got our episode list for season 7 coming up very soon.
Yeah, I'm still short like 2 episodes, but
one episode.
One or two.
Like I can say that our season premiere is going to be Freddy vs. Jason, and our season finale is going to be the classic 80s espionage movie Cloak and Dagger.
Which, this was one of my episodes.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to tie in with the Cloak and Dagger old school video game for Collateral Gaming as well.
I don't know. I'll probably just pick another car movie, maybe a nostalgia car movie.
Oh, you've got to, man. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like shit, man. I mean, Gran Turismo's coming out soon.
Gran Turismo.
Yeah, Gran Turismo. Hell yeah.
Honestly, actually, you got to go with the views, and you got to do the Gran Turismo route.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, Gran Turismo all the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, look for season 7 starting in October. We're going to have all of our Halloween content there. First couple of episodes is Freddy vs. Jason, and then the anthology movie Trick or Treat, which is a great movie. And yeah, our Halloween movie is going to be Halloween 4, right?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Daniel Harris too.
Yeah,
for
yeah. Give
Halloween
a
4 and 5. You know.
Yeah, start getting into the Cult of Thorn.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then Rob Zombie's Halloween. I mean, Daniel Harris is in there.
Oh yeah, Daniel Harris is amazing.
I'm mainly doing it for the Daniel Harris series. You know.
Yeah, totally.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So yes, everybody, look for that. We're all on all the socials, and yeah, check us out on Patreon. So with all of that said, thank you for listening to the show. Thanks once again to Jason from Dads from the Crypt, and I guess we'll go ahead and get out of here. Laters, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.